I mean, loneliness is a huge problem that we've discussed a lot in the AGM.
I mean, clearly they think clearly they think there's a, you know, a reason for it or a need for it, and so they've got to do something. Socialisation is a great thing to combat mental health issues all round. But you know, one of the figures is 200,000 older people have not had a conversation with a friend or relative in more than a month. And I say, shame on your family.
Yeah. But they're not everyone has family.
No, but it's saying here with a friend or relative. You know, they have friends and relatives. And, you know, you read these news stories all the time about somebody that's maybe found dead and it says they've been lying there for more than a month.
And their posters all built up.
Their niece, you know, their niece has come out of her box going, it's disgraceful, social services didn't do anything. It's like, what about you? What about you?
I think the family dynamic is so different now, though, isn't it? You know, you think years ago, maybe our grandparents, people tend to stay in the same town or the village, everybody lived near each other.
Picking up the phone, though,
but that's why I love things like in the Asian culture, you know, where people do treasure their relatives and they do treasure the older people.
Well,
and they learn from
in a lot of Europe as well.
Know.
It's not just in a lot of countries in the world. They have this family and they all stay a big family unit, a wider family unit.
Why do you think we don't?
And we just don't. I don't know. It's almost like, you know, we can't wait to get away and be on our own and live somewhere that's miles away from
it's a wonderful
very odd.
For me, the fact that my dad at 82 is still, you know, you all know my dad. He just out parties everybody in the entire universe, and you know, still does the Facebook. It just puts my social life to complete shame. My dad, but that is such a relief for me that my dad is well and healthy and he is gregarious. He also, my dad, is wonderful within his community of inclusion. I mean, sometimes it's like, Dad, you know, can you just not, if I'm coming to the play or whatever, can you not just do that, just you and a few others? There's got to be a coach load. But in a way, he does feel quite responsible for those around him, and I think that's lovely.
But I think this for GPs encouraging, saying, you know, did you know that there's a dance club? Because my mum moved from Cornwall up to here, you know, to be near my sister and I, with my dad who had Alzheimer's. So it's a huge thing for both of them. You know, sadly he passed away, but she has involved herself and she'll be playing bowls this afternoon. Right now, she won't be watching today. You know, so you do have to sometimes make yourself go out, and I think you need encouraging.
I mean, there are lots
of good idea.
Sort of projects that do that. But I mean, they're talking here about prescribing, so there would be a cost to the taxpayer.
But it's quite easy just to let it go, isn't it? And then by the time you think, oh God, how many days is it now? I remember when I used to live on my own, I used to think, hang on a minute, I haven't spoken to anyone for about a week.
There's a big difference,
though. You have to literally get up, go out, or make a phone call
being
to somebody.
alone and lonely.
It wasn't lonely, but
you can also be. I love being alone, and I think there's only about 2 occasions in my life I felt lonely, and all of those times have been with people. I mean, you can be lonely within a marriage. You can be lonely with lots of people. I remember being at my loneliest in the Big Brother house.
With all those people?
Absolutely, with all those people. It was one of the only times I've ever felt truly lonely and bereft. And it was a horrible experience for me. I know it was different for Carol. She quite loved it. But it's a reason for saying that you can be. But it's not just the older people, is it, Ruth, who are...
No, and actually I asked you before the break, which of these age groups do you think is the loneliest? 16 to 24-year-olds, 45 to 54, or 65 plus. And shockingly, to me, 16 to 24-year-olds are the loneliest. So you're all nodding.
Because they never go out, do
you
they?
think they're friends?
They're always on the phone.
They're like
all cyber friends.
Do you think it's social media that's done that? Yeah, see, everybody's nodding.
Because it isolates you. It puts you... It's just you and this device, and you're not making... I mean, a lot of them are. This is a sweeping generalisation. But you're not making real friendships. And real friendships do need watering.
Do you think they're so conscious now as well about image, and they're spending their lives looking at pictures of other people, posting what ideally looks like the perfect life and the perfect selfie?
Finished with a girlfriend recently, and we said, oh, we thought you were quite happy, and he said, she'll always be lonely. She wants to be somebody else, look like somebody else, have somebody else's life. And she doesn't immerse herself in the real world. She's not happy in her own skin. So she's always going to be lonely because she's always comparing. And I think that's why the audience there all collectively nodded, not as a surprise.
You know, you can't put the genie back in the bottle now, can you? It's out there, social media, the internet. So I don't know, what do you do to persuade them? You know, this is not real life. These pictures are not real.
Well, you could start by taking the phone away.
They won't let you. You can't take the phone away, Carol.
Go outside.
You can't take it away, though.
You tried that with a teenager.
This is why take it off the 17-year-old.
I don't have to drive.
I tell you, try that with a teenager. Well, Jane and I have had these conversations.
But they think their life is
literally
over.
as if I'm mad.
I know everybody's not sporty, but it's why I always bang on about sport, because when you're involved in a sport, you're on a minibus, you're in a tracksuit, you're engaging with the rest of the team.
We might be on a big coach.
You know, yeah, whatever.
It doesn't have to be a minibus, does it?
But we just went out. We did
hay bales.
We made our
hay
own
bales,
fun,
didn't you?
exactly. When I was about, I don't know, 15 or something, we had nothing to do on a weekend, so we decided to walk from Maidstone to Sheerness. Now, does anyone know how far that is? It's a long way. And it was 90 degrees, and we almost nearly died in the heat. But it was fun.
But also, we
made that fun.
We have to take... I think we as modern parents have to take responsibility as well, because, you know, I was allowed to go out all day. Now, with my youngest, I'd be going, well, where are you going? How long? And where, you know, when
and
are
we
you going
didn't
to
have
get
any
there?
phones to contact us.
So I think we, in a way, have also done this and kept them
My
at
mum
home.
used to I used to leave the house in the morning, and I used to be out all day, and at 6 o'clock we'd come back home. We couldn't be contacted. As soon as I had children, if they left, if they were out of a sight for a minute,
Neville Chamberlain on the radio.
Absolutely, so we did.